Hello crafters, this is Mary Prasad. Visit me at artbymdp.blogspot.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to repurpose a box. Now this box I got out of a grab bag at a craft store. Mine is wood, but it doesn't have to be wood. It could be paper mache or cardboard or even plastic. These pastes will adhere to any of these surfaces. For this project, you'll need the following supplies listed on the screen. This project tends to get a bit messy, so I highly recommend getting a nice craft mat, such as this one by Imagine Crafts. Now this box started out as a red lacquered box, and the surface was rather slick, so I had to do some sanding before I started on it. Creative Medium has great adhesion properties, so I started by coating the whole box with Creative Medium in clear. Then I moved on to the gesso, which you'll see in a moment. Be sure to use a strong bristled brush, such as one for acrylic paint. This might ruin a more delicate brush, such as one meant for watercolor. You only need to apply a thin coat of this. You could let this air dry, but throughout this video I'm going to use my heat tool to dry things. Now if you're going to use a heat tool, make sure you keep it moving along. Also, don't get the nozzle too close to the surface. Next, I put on 2 coats of black colored gesso. You probably don't need 2 coats because the Creative Medium really does grab on, but I put 2 coats on anyway. Alternatively, you could use clear or white gesso and then coat it with black acrylic paint. Now to apply the fun layers. I use Creative Medium in metallic bronze and iridescent green, golden glitz Delicata, and gamma green Brilliance inker and ink. I'm going to apply the inks with ink blushers, but for everything else I'm going to use the paintbrush, a palette knife, or the squeegee tool. For the first couple of layers, I'm going to apply the Creative Mediums with the paintbrush. I'm going to do this horizontally across the surface, reminiscent of wood grain. Notice that I'm applying this rather randomly, leaving lots of open spaces. Before you apply the iridescent medium, make sure you clean the brush really well. This looks like it's white, but it actually dries more clear, and it has this beautiful iridescent shine. It looks especially great on black. I started to apply the Delicata with the wider end of the ink blusher, but I decided I liked the narrow end better, so you'll see me switch. I highly recommend heat setting all the ink.
Shut up and sit down.
Now I'm going to apply gold sheer shimmer spritz to give my box a nice sparkle all over. You'll want to shake this up really well until you can't see any of the sediment on the bottom. Hold the bottle about a foot or more away and spray so you can get some even coverage. Even then you might get some drops. If you do, just take your finger and wipe them. The craft mat is super easy to clean. Just spray some water and wipe with a paper towel. Here's what the surface looks like so far.
Shut up and sit down.
Now I'll apply creative medium through the stencil to give the surface a dimensional look. For this, you'll need palette knives and/or a squeegee tool. I recommend one tool for each color. Since iridescent creative medium is so translucent, I'm going to use some Gamma Green Brilliance inker to color it. I'm only going to apply the medium on certain parts of the box. I'm also going to intersperse the green with the bronze. Before removing the stencil, make sure all the parts are filled that you want to be filled. Also, be sure to lift the stencil straight up. Remove any unwanted bits or overhanging pieces with your finger or a paper towel. I really love all the texture that comes through. Repeat this process on the sides of the lid and on the box. Just be sure the stencil is clean on the bottom before you apply anything. Here's a quick look at the box so far. You could leave it like this, but I'm going to add some embellishment. To do this, I'm going to add Irresistible Pico Embellisher in bronze. Since this is a metallic, you're going to have to shake it up. Before the first time you use it, make sure you remove the protective seal underneath the lid. I'm going to put on a lot of dots and drips, sort of like oil to go with the gear theme. This may bubble or burn if you get too close with the heat tool, so stay further away. It might take a little longer to dry, but it'll be worth it. As a final touch, I'm going to apply a little more Golden Glitz Delicata to different areas. In some places, I'll pat it on, in other places, I'll smear it on. I was thinking this might be a jewelry box or a trinket box, so I wanted to line it with red felt. I'll also add some black felt to the bottom so it won't scratch wherever you put it on. Once I've pushed it up against the edges of the box, I'm going to mark it with a soap pen. You could use a regular pen, just as long as it doesn't bleed through the felt. Here I just did a quick check to make sure it fit, and then I used some Elmer's Extreme Glue, painted across the bottom so that it'll be even, to glue it down. I did the bottom in a similar fashion. The felt has a little give, so if you don't get it exactly right, you can stretch it a little bit. Here's a final look at the box. I just love all the shimmer, dimension, and shine this box has. It really doesn't show very well on camera, but it's incredibly beautiful in person. The felt inside adds a really nice touch. Here are some photos showing different aspects of the box. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of my work, please visit artbymdp.blogspot.com. And thanks for watching.